The game, as we built it, it was really a core third-person action shooter. So it is a third-person shooter, but at the same time, we wanted to inject something new in the game, especially with the PlayStation 4 being a new console. We wanted to do something different. So what you saw on Monday, for example, introducing the Lycans, the werewolves, basically in our game. We are also going to show in the future some new gameplay modes beyond the shooter that you expect that will kind of take the player on a new journey and a new gameplay adventure.
One part of that alternate history, I assume I saw some pretty interesting weaponry. It's not just going to be, old-time firearms and sticks, right?
No, absolutely not. We love the old-time guns, the black powder weapons and all. But at the same time, the post-industrial revolution Europe was filled with just the greatest inventors, the greatest marvels that actually happened in our history. So what we did was we took some of these inventions that did exist, and we just made them believable enough that we could twist them into weapons that did not exist. But that if you play the game and if you do a research actually on each of these weapons, you could find out that actually all this technology existed, just not in the way we use it.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Now I understand there's also this kind of special element that kind of helps the knights that, it's almost like a supernatural kind of thing.
Absolutely. It's something we'll talk about a lot more. It's an integral part of the IP itself. It's called the Blackwater. And this Blackwater gives them abilities to regenerate, but it also gives them longevity. These knights have lived much longer than regular people would have. They've seen their loved ones die, they've gone through life. In some ways what we call a curse. It's not so much of a blessing to be living that long. And at the same time, you give them abilities that we're showing off at E3, for example, something called Black Sight, which is a heightened state of being where they can combat enemies, actually, and in much more precise attacks, and that's what Blackwater does for them.
Now, is the game primarily a single-player experience, or is there something else we're going to know about, where you can play with other people?
No, yeah, actually the game is a single-player experience. We very much wanted to introduce this IP as it's a brand new IP in the right way, the way we thought we needed to show it to the players. So our goal was, create a great story, create a very immersive world, a very filmic world, and push that to the player through the eyes of one character and a single story.
So now, again, we hear a lot of talk with the new consoles, and I'm curious, just from your perspective, like, what's it been like, working on PS4 and just kind of the technology that you've been able to use?
It's been amazing, actually. To tell you the truth, it's been one of those rides where ever since the genesis of the PS4 as well, Sony was very welcoming of opinions on the platforms and what we wanted out of a piece of hardware, and they talked to a lot of developers. It's been an amazing ride working on PlayStation 4. It opened up a whole new world for us, and especially for this game, because the reality of us making this game was in conjunction with PS4. We wanted to do certain things for this title, and the PS4 allowed us to actually put our vision, bring our vision to our reality.
Was there something that happened among the creative team that made you guys want to look at this era? I mean, it's an interesting era, but I don't think it's been really explored a lot.
It's true. Actually, games don't have a tendency to go so much in that era. I think there are a few games that do that. For us, it was just a passion for history. I mean, I was a history buff since I was a little kid. I read a lot of books and about history, and I love the fact that history has mysteries that we can't even sometimes write ourselves. You leave enough time for an event to happen, and you can create a whole different world out of that single event that wasn't really what happened. So that's why we went back into history. Victorian era is purely because it's, I think, one of the most pivotal moments in our world history. What happened during that time, with London being the center of the world, with everything that was happening around the world, it made for a perfect stage for us to tell our story.